I would like to call the Peoria Public Schools Board of Education meeting for July 24th, 2023 to order. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Costick? Here. Mr. Kloss? Mrs. McConnell?
Here.
Dr. Rankin?
Here.
Mrs. Ross? Here. Mr. Wilson? Okay. President Murphy?
Here.
We have 6 present. I'm sorry, we have 5 present.
Thank you. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. It looks like we still have our Von Steuben Middle School to my right. That octopus is still looking great all summer long. And then we have the Mark Bills to my left with their words of encouragement. Both boards look great. So thank you to both of those schools for that. Yes. Let's see, do any board members have any announcements?
Yes, sir, Brother President. Immunizations and physicals. They are due on the first day of school, August 2nd. If you have an incoming kindergarten, 6th grade, 9th grade, or 12th grade, make sure to schedule your physicals and your immunizations now. And second announcement, first day of school is Wednesday, August the 2nd. Visit our website for the individual schools' handbooks, supply lists, welcome letters from the principal, uniform color, guides, bell schedules, and links to submit students' immunization records and their physical paperwork. And those items are due on the first day of school, Wednesday, August 2nd.
Thank you. Mrs. Costa.
Thank you. A new website. PPS has a new look. Head to peoriapublicschools.org to check out our new website. Also, be sure to download our app, PPS 150, to stay updated on all the amazing efforts happening across the district. Thank you.
Cooling stations. Protect yourself from the heat. The lobby of the Peoria Police Department and all City of Peoria fire stations are available as cooling centers from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Summer safe zones. Peoria Public Schools is partnering with the Peoria Police Department and Peoria Park District to bring safe and fun summer events for all families in Peoria. Join us for our last summer safe zone on Friday, July 28th at Manual High School from 4:30 to 7:30. The second announcement. On Friday, we had an initial kickoff training of 7 mindsets for SEL and discipline teams, 1 SEL team member from each school, principals, assistant principals, special education coordinators, career coaches, grant coordinators, and leadership from 6099 Union. For the community, we will have training, a 1-hour training on or about September 27th. At this community training, we will offer in-person and virtual. Community members will learn about each of the 7 mindsets and experience a lesson like our kids will experience. The Ministerial Alliance is helping us with the location and planning of this event. They will engage in exercises with how to extend the mindset specifically around individuality within their organization and in partnership with Peoria Public Schools. For our families, we will have training, a 1-hour training on or about September 27th. We will offer in-person and virtual at Glen Oak, Peoria High School, Richwoods High School, Manual High School, and other locations to be determined. Families at this event will learn about each of the 7 mindsets and experience a lesson like the kids will experience. They will engage in exercises on how to support and extend the mindset individually, within the family and home, and in partnership with Peoria Public Schools. If you have any questions about our initial kickoff today, the community training, which will be at the end of September, or the family training that will be also at the end of September, please contact Dr. Ann Bond at ann.bond@psd150.org.
Thank you. Student billboards. Congratulations to Peoria High Performing School of the Arts senior Jesus Reyes and recent graduate Claire Cox for winning 2 of only 6 spots in the Peoria Sky Art Competition. Their artwork will be displayed on a billboard for 1 year. Check out Claire's billboard across from Lou's Drive-In on Knoxville and Lake. Jesus' mural is located at 116 Lord Street in Metamora. And my second announcement, back to school events. Over the next few weeks, various community events will offer free school supplies, backpacks, school uniforms, haircuts, and physical and dental checkups. Mark your calendars and plan to attend one of these events. July 27th from 12 to 6 p.m., back to school backpack giveaway at the Tri-County Urban League. July 29th at 8 a.m., Firefighters Charities back to school at Peoria Sports Complex. July 29th from 9 to 12 p.m., Backpack Peoria at the Dream Center. And August 12th from 11 to 4 p.m., Back to School Festival and Community Health Fair at New Beginnings Worship Center. Those are all of our announcements. Do what? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. All right, moving along. It does not look like we have any district presentations. As well, Madam Secretary, were there any cards turned in? None? Okay. Seeing no presentation by audience members. Moving on, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from June 30th, 2023?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Costick? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
President Murphy?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes. Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to information items, superintendent update.
Thank you, President Murphy. This is really an exciting time of year for Peoria Public Schools. Hopefully, if our families who are listening and our staff who are listening and board members, you should have received the calendar for the 23-24 school year. Did you get those in the mail? If not, I have extras. I was supposed to bring it. Did you get one? Okay, I'll make sure you get one. Jen, I'll make sure you get one as well. So thanks to Halima for designing. Halima, I thought you did a really nice job with it this year. I know it went through several iterations, but I was just looking at it again over the weekend, and I'm like, she had knocked it out of the park. So thank you. And staffing is looking very good. I spoke with, kudos to my team, and I'll actually have them make a few remarks. But Dr. Molson, she told me primary buildings are fully staffed. As of today, it's a moving target. And Mrs. Hammer always reminds us, especially right before school starts, there's a lot, sometimes poaching going around. But as of today, primary schools are fully staffed. I would say we're in the best position that we've been in about 9 years as it relates to staffing. And kudos to Mr. Roweather. I have to give him credit for that. There were about 100 new teachers today. I spoke with them for an hour, and the team had great activities for them. And he knew the majority of them, and it was beautiful to see. There are a lot of diversity as well. We have our international teachers. Some of them came in yesterday, and they're still coming in. But it was looking very, very good. Board would have been very, very proud. And hopefully we could maybe get the board to say something to them at some point. But kudos to definitely Mr. Roweather, who is our recruiter. He's out and about everywhere recruiting for us. And our educators, as we all know, will be back July 31st from 8 to 1. And students, depending on their tier, will be back on August 2nd. Tier 1 kids, 7:30, those who start at 7:30 will end at 2:30, and those who start at 8:30 will end at 3:30. And so what I wanted to do is, okay, and actually Dr. Hassan mentioned Richwoods is fully staffed, Manual is fully staffed. There's one opening at Peoria High for business. And so that's again, that's amazing. That's fantastic. And Ms. Brooks, I didn't get a chance to check in with you, but I do know, and everyone I talked to them individually, they all said, Doc, our cores are all filled. All the core classes for Peoria Public Schools as of today are full. That there's certified folks in them. So, any comments, Ms. Brooks?
I just have a couple of encores and a couple of TA positions left.
TAs and, okay. Dr. B, what about you?
They're fully staffed. Mark Bills has a .5 orchestra, I believe, for technology. That was just added in May. So other than that, the other three are fully staffed.
Yep. So board, the hard work is paying off, and, you know, you guys just motivating us and saying, hey, let's stay focused on this and staffing. That's beautiful. So Dr. Hassan, I was just so proud of the entire team. Why don't you share quickly what happened today with the new teacher orientation? It was pretty impressive. You had all of your team members presenting.
Good evening, President Murphy, Vice President, Dr. Ranking, Dr. Karat, and the entire board, distinguished guests. So today was a great day. Yes, we had 100 new teachers present. Some of those teachers were teachers who were international teachers who started in January. We wanted to make sure that they received some of the great introductory material. We started off by reviewing our mission and ensuring that our vision and our mission to ensure that they know what we are about and what we're here to do. Dr. Karat focused on academics. And then we had the entire team here. Everyone did present. Ms. Seipel gave them some really good information. Do not click on anything.
Oh, there's a lot of scam going around, so yeah.
Yes. And then Dr. Kareem Austin did a great presentation about students being co-authors. Dr. Bell, Ms. Brooks, everyone spoke to our team, again, just to let them know a little bit about us and what we're here to do, tips, suggestions. So it was really a great time filled with information, but also activities. Dr. Gersnich presented as well, Dr. Bond. It was a whole team effort, really, to ensure that we're onboarding our new teachers as they should be. So we'll have them back again tomorrow. We have an excellent opportunity for all teachers pre-K to 12 working on engagement activities. We know if we're going to focus on academics, we have to ensure that students are engaged. So that's our focus, and we are moving forward to improve academic achievement.
Yeah, thank you, team. You guys were amazing, so focused. Our theme was stepping into your power, right? Stepping into your power, because student learning is your superpower. So it's going to be this year, it's going to be all about improving reading, improving mathematics, and our big focus is we're not focused on reading by third grade anymore. We're talking about reading on or before first grade, because by the time you get to third grade, it's way too late. So we're preparing for the convocation, for the welcome. Halima, the team, and I, that's what we're working on. I'm meeting with principals tomorrow as well. It's very, very busy. There's a lot going on, just some great stuff. And the good thing is, even though we have two new leaders, it seems as if we've been working together for 10 years. Everybody, I just like the fact that we're working together, we're collaborative, respectful, and listening to each other and
Yes.
collaborating, being thought partners. So we're off to a great start, board, and I wanted to share that with you. Thank you, Dr. Hassan. Any questions? I can talk about the new teacher grant now, or maybe some other time I can send it to, because I don't want to spend too much time. If you guys want to hear about the new teacher grant, we've gotten a new grant. Carla, you want to hear about it?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Carla, Susan, and I have been working on it. It's an initiative from Illinois State Board of Education that came down, and we jumped on it. I don't know when we hear about it, Carla, but I got it maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a quick one.
It was, yeah, very quick, and they said PPS is eligible for about $600,000, and it's all around teacher vacancy grants. And they targeted districts with high numbers, and then they just gave us an allotment. And so we had to put a plan together, send it to them, and we worked on it very diligently, maybe, 2-3 weeks ago, sent it in. So Carla, you were so patient and so diligent. And when did I hear back from them? Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, just really recently.
Recently,
Good to go.
Wednesday, that we were, for the most part, we were good to go. So essentially, we're really, really excited about this opportunity. We already have the Grow Your Own, and today was so beautiful. That's Ms. Brooks, but you, as an outsider, what did you notice? Because you mentioned it.
Yes, I did.
You observed it and you mentioned it today when we debriefed today.
Good evening, board, and thank you for allowing me to speak again today. So one thing I noticed today was your Grow Your Own program. You had five teachers, new teachers from your Grow Your Own program. And one thing I said about that, I said, that's a wonderful program, Dr. Karak, because those people are your roots. They're not going anywhere, right? They're already Peoria people, so they're not going anywhere. So if you could expand that program, that's absolutely awesome, because that feeds your schools and keeps you going.
Yep. You mentioned we need to celebrate them, and I
Yes.
said Linda Wilson, that's her baby, and what we've done. So she's doing a nice job with that. And there were about, I think, was it 4 or 5? Five of them, but it was amazing. And so that grant will support the Grow Your Own program. By one of the things we noticed is we could add some additional funds for testing and also for tutoring for that grant. So we set aside some money for that. So it's multi-layered. So we have the Grow Your Own that we're going to support. And then we have, I kind of mentioned it, there's a pipeline also that we're focused on. So we'll have a teacher, the idea is a teacher pathway middle school club. And then there will be also a high school pathway club as well. So we'll have individuals assigned to each of the high schools recruiting students so that they can get into, with a big focus on African American and Black and brown males to get into education. So we're very excited about that. And so there's that piece as well. So the middle school and high school pipeline will be another component. So you have the teacher, the Grow Your Own, supporting what Linda Wilson is doing, then the teacher pipeline, middle school, high school. Then another component is looking at our sub pool. We have quite a bit of individuals, and there are some of them who are interested in becoming teachers, but they don't have the financial means necessary. And so in that grant, Carla, Susan, and I wrote, we would target 20 individuals who really, from that pool, who would like to become teachers and would pay for their certification. We have a partner where they can work just on their certification, and they'll help them get their teaching degree. We've added, and we'll pick up the cost for that. The grant will pick up the cost for that, for testing, for tutoring if necessary. So we're really excited about that, because that could be a quick win. Some districts, they use the money. You can use it to help pay down loans. You could help it pay rent, but we want it to be really thoughtful and sort of, as you said, kind of grow our own and get in, like, if you help 20 subs, that's 20 teachers that will be assigned to PPS for a number of years, right? Our kids, help them in that pathway, help them college, provide them with employment to come back. And then another component, so you have the pipeline, you have helping with the certification, we have we also have, which I'm really excited about, a research group, Hanover. They will be doing some studies for us around recruitment and retention, why people leaving, and it's high-level work and strategies. They'll have focus groups, interviews. They'll be working with teachers, working with staff, and they'll leave a document for us so that, because we always talk about, and we have an unscientific idea of, folks are moving out of state, they're going to higher salaries, that sort of thing. But that group will, so that we've written in, right? We've written in Hanover to do that research for us and work with staff and give us a nice document that we can follow. And then the other piece includes referrals for individuals who are starting whenever we get ready to get started. There will be sign-on bonuses for coming on, and then there will also be a significant amount for recruiting someone, referring someone, and if they've gone on, they're hired, there will be a significant amount as well regarding that. So those are the pieces. Did I forget anything, Carla?
Just that it's multi-year, and that's what's nice too.
And it's 3 years. It's for 3 years. So we'll bring someone in to coordinate it, and we're really excited.
The 600 for each year for 6.
Each year. Yeah.
Wow.
But each year, yes.
Good job getting that done. Thank you.
Carla was great with the budget. I had the ideas, and then so thank you.
Both of you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that the end of your? All right.
Miss Ross has.
Oh, sorry, Ms. Ross.
I wanted to ask to dovetail on that particular grant and briefly talk about what we're going to do with the $300,000 we got through the city of Peoria.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I had Dr. G. I was going to pull her in underneath my presentation. She's
We
not.
can do it next time.
Yeah,
I
that's-
just wanted to know.
And the city camp as well. I think they tie in very nicely. So I have her for the next time, August.
Okay.
So she asked for permission to, she was just really, really tired today, and she did not look well. So she'll present in August. Thank you. I'll write that down.
Any other board members have any other questions? Yeah, Ms. McConnell.
I just want to make an observation, and I love that we do grow your own for teachers, and I think it's prudent and it is expedient that we grow our own principals, our own Wisconsin staff, because the idea that we get a teacher who will stay in the classroom, we need this board building to look like Peoria. And I love getting innovation. I love people coming in, because when you have people coming in from the outside, it can bring a fresh perspective, but it also brings a learning curve. And with that learning curve comes the community has to trust you. And so when you move into an area, just like anybody, you move into a new neighborhood, you go to a new company and a new job. It takes time to establish a circle of trust. And the trust is that the leadership can trust that you are going to do the job, you were hired, and then you have to prove that. And so with that in mind, we lose a lot of our value momentum and the stabilities that this district should have, because we have qualified teachers and we have people in buildings who can serve us diligently with not only with years of experience, but they also bring a sense of community. They bring a sense of pride, and we need to celebrate and we need to compensate loyalty. And I think that's why our district struggles with some retention factors, is because people aren't feeling valued. And I read something today, and it just really resonated with me. And I actually applied it to myself, but then at my church, but it also led me to even think about the district, because this is where I'm serving. And it was a quote, it just simply says, "Go where your efforts are appreciated. Do not let your actions go unnoticed by individuals who are never satisfied." And I don't want our district to ever become that pocket of people that we can't learn to be satisfied with excellence and growing our own communities. In my year of service here, travel, I've met with so many board members from across the country, And what I found, and I asked very poignant and direct questions, and that is, who's your superintendent? Who's your curriculum person? I go into a lot of detail. I have a little note card because I'm seeking information. And a lot of people are homegrown. And that makes sense to me because it does. Because if you're invested in this community, if you've bought a home, you've raised your children, your family, your grandmother, your support systems here, you're very likely to probably stay here. And people in the community trust you because they know you. They have a recollection of you being a child or your grandmother or your grandfather. So I think we need to take pride in all of the outstanding things that our district is doing, but we've got to value people right here in this community to build up our stability. And I've watched this district over the last 20 years with musical chairs. We've bought out contracts and we've lost millions of dollars on what I consider business foolishness. And so I would encourage us as a board and the community that we take stock in ourselves. And that would mean a lot to our teachers, our administrators, our principals. If people feel appreciated and they feel valued, people work harder and they work smarter because they have a vested interest. And that is my passion, and that is what I pray for this district. Sorry, that was a little Easter speech, but it just fit there.
But just quickly, though, great observation. It was really funny. We talked about that after when we debriefed as well. And I said team because although there were about 100 teachers, new teachers, and I had an hour with them, I had them all do introductions, like where they're from, grade level, and their buildings. And what did we say, team? What percentage did we say were from Peoria area? I said about 75%. What did you say?
Majority of
The majority of the teachers were from, and we saw some trends as well. We saw some people moving from Florida. There were 3, and what did you say, Dr. Hudson?
I was just saying people who worked in other districts, although they lived here, but now they're coming
Yes.
to the district, coming back.
Yes.
Like home.
So it's, well said. I mean, the majority, and that was very pleasing to see. And you're right in terms of growing your own. And then just quickly, in terms of administrator, the board approved that Rockford. Dr. Molson, you want to mention that? That's
Right, our
that-
Rockford partnership,
Yep.
where we have 18 students in the cohort getting a master's in urban education and their principal license. And we're about to launch cohort 2. So that is super exciting because, yes, we agree that we want to grow our teachers to be our future leaders.
Yeah.
And we also run an aspiring administrator cohort. That'll be my second year leading on that charge. So looking at the folks in our district who have their principal certification but are teaching and saying, who wants to raise their hand? Who's interested? And we go through a cohort year together, learning more about what that means and are you ready to take the next step. So we're trying to make a really concerted effort to grow our folks. Yes.
And actually, all of our principals are really homegrown for the most part because they were part of our pipeline. And then we realized, I'm like, okay, I have no one else on my list. And so then we decided, and Dr. Molson, that's one of her areas of expertise. So she's leading the aspiring administrators for us and then working with Rockford. So we're growing our, it's working. And we were able to hire, 2 or 3 people, and they may have just passed their test.
Right.
Maybe this month or last month, and we brought them on, we're pulling them on. So that's.
And we have some students today sitting in our new teacher crowd, former students of
Yes.
several of us, and
Yes.
that was really just so neat to see as well.
One said, "You are my principal."
Okay, well, good. Thank you. Does anyone else have anything else for Dr. Crott or board? Okay, seeing none, moving on then. Financial update on budget, encumbered, expended, balanced, and percentage balance. Mr. Willis.
Hi. The first thing that I want to bring to your attention is the first column on that particular report that I left at your places, the 23-24 budget column. You'll see that column has an asterisk. We are scheduled to adopt for the 23-24 school year budget on September 25th, 2023. As a result, the budget column reflects zeros for the time being because we haven't gone through that process yet. And then the first couple of months, July, August, as we have monies coming in, monies going out, those will kind of be standalone dollars in that year-to-date column. And then once we have a budget presentation in August, and then we'll have that sit for 30 days. What I'll do is drop that tentative budget in so that we at least have some base of comparison. But the first few reports that you see for the 23-24 year basically will just be standalone numbers in that year-to-date column. And I wanted to bring that to your attention because that's a little different than what you're used to seeing. In terms of revenue, we are off to a slow start. Fiscal year basically just started, so we're year-to-date $2.1 million in terms of receipts. And on the spending side, we're about $3.1 million, which is not unusual this time of year. And as we get through the rest of July, we'll have more transactions, both in terms of revenue and expense, register, and those will compare more fairly to some of the numbers that we've had in the past.
2.1 million is a slow start.
Yeah. Yeah. On a $300 million
Yeah,
budget.
sure. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Willis. Do any board members have any questions for Mr. Willis? Yeah, Mr. Ross.
Yeah, I have one quick question. On the sheet, you have remaining balance dollars, and all of that is a negative. And then you also mentioned the zeros. You still have remaining balance. Now, which one? What does the remaining balance dollars mean? Because I know one is percentages as far as the zeros are concerned.
Yeah. So
spent already?
No. It just means that there are no budget. The remaining balance column takes your budget and it subtracts your year to date. Since there's nothing in the budget column, it gives you negatives right now for the remaining balance. Once we load budget numbers at the end of August. Actually, when we do a draft in August, we'll take those numbers and put it in just so that the report's not wonky. So the second board meeting in August, you'll have budget numbers in there and it'll make sense. But right now, we just have.
Yeah, because it looked like it's a wash, year to date and then remaining balance. So
we're comparing the year-to-date numbers against nothing. That's all it means.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Or just a statement or question. So then, do we fully reconcile 2022-23 by like August 30th? Is there a deadline to be fully reconciled? Or is it fully reconciled at the end of July?
It's not fully reconciled at the end of July or end of August. We actually take transactions that occur in July, August, and September, and those that relate to the prior year, we pick those up and put those in the prior year, and then balance. So it'll be a while.
Right, but the question is there a target date when? I mean, do you in the first quarter have everything reconciled for that year?
Pretty much the first.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be fiscally sound that when the fiscal year ends June 30th, in the first quarter into the new year, that we should be reconciled, and that all expenditures are dated June 30th, so it makes sense to an auditor.
Well, the part of that reconciliation is picking up transactions that relate to the prior year. Mm-hmm. It's not uncommon for us to cut a check in September that relates to an invoice or work that was done before June. Correct. And so that September check that you put in the 22-23 year affects that reconciliation. For sure. So yeah, we do have a target. once we get past that accrual period, which is July, August, September, you balance everything out. And that's required basically before the auditors can sign off and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So the auditors right now are scheduled for like late September to come in and do what they do. Before they get here, we'll be all reconciled with a bow on it, that kind of thing.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Willis. All right. Proposed expenditures over $2,500. Questions? Seeing none. All right. Report of requests under the Freedom of Information Act and status of such requests.
Thank you, President Murphy. Since our last meeting on June 10th, we've received 2 new requests, and there was 1 pending request noted on June 10th. Of those, 1 request remains open, so there's 2 requests currently open. So to date, we have received 82 requests for the calendar year at a cost, a grand total of $4,100. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Reinking, would you mind reading the consent agenda?
The consent agenda consists of, number 1, gifts to school district year-to-date, $82,374.42. Number 2, payment of bills. Number 3, payment for travel. Number 4, human resource report. Number 5, contract for children's home therapists to provide therapeutic services. Number 6, Center for Prevention of Abuse, Aaron's Law Mandate Program Plan and Budget, 2023-2024. That concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you, Vice President Ryan King. Were there any items that any board members would like to have pulled for a separate vote or discussion? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
We need a
can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Costick? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
President Murphy?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes. Motion carries.
All right. Seeing nothing under deliberation agenda, were there any presentation and suggestions by board members? Seeing none, go ahead.
Quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I received an email from our friend Nick, firefighter Nicholas, and they have done an amazing job for PPS and the families and kids in terms of filling a bus with school supplies. I believe 800, they have raised and collected 800 book bags with supplies. And there will be an event. I sent you board the flyer. If you're able to make it, a couple of us will not be able to make it. I won't be there, unfortunately. A couple of us will not. We have another conflict. But if you're able to just go and represent us, that would be fantastic. And so I just wanted to thank them, and we will recognize them at the next board meeting for their effort and their continued love for Peoria Public Schools families. And then just a quick thank you to Pastor McConnell. He's working with Dr. Bond regarding 7 mindsets and kind of helping to infuse it in the community, pulling in the ministerial alliance that Dr. Rankin read. So thank you, Pastor. And I know there's some training scheduled for the 27th of September, and we're going to blow it up and get everybody involved. So thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Reports from board committees.
So the policy committee will meet on August 10th with the goal to have a presentation for our consideration in the first, in the meeting after August 10th.
Okay, thank you.
That's the policy committee.
Okay. Are there any more reports from board committees? Seeing none, may I please get a motion to
So moved.
adjourn? Thank you.